Myself and Conor McCreery are the co-creators and co-writers of Kill Shakespeare, which is a graphic novel and comic book series published by IDW Publishing. And I should, of course, mention Annie Belanger, of course, who's the very talented illustrator that works on Kill Shakespeare. I've always been a fan of Shakespeare. I've always been a fan of the stage. But I mean, when I went to school, I actually went for business school, and I minored in film. And Conor, my co-creator, actually went to business school, and he minored in theater. So he has a bit more of a theater background. He's done some acting. I produced a couple plays. I've starred in a couple plays while I was at university. But I mean, I don't have an extensive background, but I did quite enjoy it. I mean, I did some stuff in high school and university. It was great. But I mean, I just love the whole theatrical experience. I mean, everything from walking into the theater, the lobby, the excitement, sitting down, the lights go down, and just seeing something come to life. And I mean, that's one of the things we like to talk about with Shakespeare is, how can you get Shakespeare, how can you get kids or new audiences excited about Shakespeare? But, it's really tough to do that. So, I mean, it's to be able to bring it to life by going to see a show at the Stratford Festival or a local theater company, or reading on the pages of Kill Shakespeare, something like that. Whatever it takes to bring Shakespeare to life, that's really what the point of Kill Shakespeare is. But no, we were approached about 2 years ago by Soulpepper Theatre. They were fans of Kill Shakespeare, and they wanted to work with us on something. So we sat down with the dramaturg Toby Malone and Albert Schultz, who runs the theater company, and we just bounced some ideas off the wall. And one of them was to do a live stage reading of Kill Shakespeare. So we got excited by it, they got excited by it, so they commissioned us to put it on. And in October of 2011, we had 2 sold-out showings at the Word Festival that Soulpepper had put on, which was a celebration of their written word, as well as a celebration of the 400th anniversary of the first production of The Tempest. And so that was the debut, and then we continued to hone the production. And what it is actually is it's a live stage reading. So we take the images from Kill Shakespeare, project them up on a screen, and then panel by panel, and then the actors are on stage and they read out the dialogue, they create the sound effects, they do the music live. So it's like a radio play or a comic book come to life. And so that's now played in about 12 different cities. It played for 3 weeks here in Chicago with the Straw Dog Theater back in March. Then they remounted it at C2E2 here in April of 2013. And we had our international debut in Dubai as part of the Middle East Film and Comic Con. Backstage Dubai put that on for a week afterwards as well. So yeah, we have a number of other theater companies interested in putting it on. Long term, we'd love to do a Broadway musical, Jazz Hands, of Kill Shakespeare. And then Conor and I are actually spending the summer pulling back on doing a lot of conventions, and instead we're actually working on a screenplay because we have a lot of interest from Hollywood to do a feature film version of Kill Shakespeare or a television series. So actually we're contracted. We're fortunate being in Canada that we have people like the Harold Greenberg Fund and Telefilm Canada that can support us and provide funding so we can work on the screenplay. So, hopefully, it takes forever for a film to go through development and then get into production. But ideally, if we could release something in 2016, which is the 400th anniversary of the death of Shakespeare, that would be an ideal timeline for me. That's what I think. Kind of a combination thereof. I mean, what we did with the original 12 issues of Kill Shakespeare was Conor and I got together, we mapped out exactly what would happen over the span of the 12 issues, and then broke it down issue by issue. And then we kind of go off and we each kind of take a lead on each issue and go back and forth. So like he'd do a draft, he'd send it to me, I'd give him notes, make changes, that sort of thing. And then with the new sequel miniseries, Kill Shakespeare: The Tide of Blood, all of the first 4 issues are out now. Issue 5 comes out in July, and then the third, or the collected book, which would be volume 3 technically, comes out in early October. That's the exact same process where we knew what the story would be, all the characters going to Prospero's Island, so we mapped out, okay, well this is where it starts, this is where it ends, and then what are the major steps along the way. And then beyond that, I mean, we have ideas on what we want to do for future miniseries, tying up everything with Hamlet and Juliet and Romeo stories. But the thing is that because of Shakespeare, there are dozens, if not hundreds, of fantastic Shakespeare characters that we haven't been able to incorporate yet. So our goal really is to be able to come up with new stories and takes on those characters. Because we have people asking all the time, what about King Lear? What about Edward? What about Beatrice and Benedict? So we'd like to be able to put them in as soon as possible for them. I was very fortunate that I had an extremely fantastic and very warm and generous librarian that actually is one of the first people that got me hooked on books, other than my parents, of course. Mrs. Cullis at the Porcupine Public Library. I know it's a suburb of Timmins, up in northern Canada. But no, she was great. She was not shushing. She was just a very lovely woman. She was in her 50s, and she always knew that myself and my sister and I loved the Berenstain Bears books. So whenever a new one would come in, she would always set it aside specifically for us because she knew how much we loved it. So it was great that way. So I mean, it really did just make reading that much more exciting.